Obviously, with any type of cancer, the earlier it's detected, the best chance for treatment and potentially a cure. I think from all indicated reports, her cancer was caught at a relatively later stage.
And we've heard these stories about her going to Germany to seek alternative treatments. Do we know anything about that?
They weren't as fringe as they were made to appear. They were chemotherapy injected into tumors for all indicated reports.
In the glittering world of Hollywood, where stars rise and fall like the California sun, one golden-haired icon faced her final battle away from the cameras that once adored her. Farrah Fawcett, the woman whose smile captivated millions, whose feathered locks launched 1,000 salon appointments, and whose red swimsuit poster adorned more walls than perhaps any image in history, fought her last fight not against fame's fleeting nature, but against a merciless enemy that cared nothing for her celebrity: cancer. What really happened in those final days? The truth is both more heartbreaking and more inspiring than most realize. Born in Texas in 1947, Farrah skyrocketed to fame in 1976 with her role as Jill Monroe on Charlie's Angels and that iconic red swimsuit poster that became the best-selling pinup of all time. Despite leaving the show after just one season, her cultural impact was indelible. While her post-Angels career had ups and downs, from critical flops like Somebody Killed Her Husband to powerful performances in The Burning Bed, Farrah remained in the public eye through her decades-long relationship with actor Ryan O'Neal and their son, Redmond. The diagnosis that changed everything. In September 2006, at 59 years old, Farrah Fawcett appeared to be the same golden-haired beauty who had captivated America for decades. She had just made a triumphant public appearance, reuniting with her Charlie's Angels co-stars Kate Jackson and Jaclyn Smith to honor legendary producer Aaron Spelling. But away from the cameras and the adoring fans, Farrah was suffering. "My body is just killing me," she confided to close friends. Initially, she suspected food poisoning from bad spinach, a simple explanation for her increasing fatigue and discomfort. The truth was far more devastating. Doctors delivered the crushing diagnosis: anal cancer. Though relatively rare, affecting about 8,300 Americans yearly, this form of cancer is often treatable when detected early, with a 5-year survival rate of approximately 67%. For Farrah, however, the grim news came too late. Her cancer was already in an advanced stage, significantly diminishing her chances of recovery. Farrah faced her diagnosis head-on, immediately beginning aggressive chemotherapy and radiation treatments. "I'm going to bite the bullet and fight the fight," she declared with characteristic determination. At first, her courage appeared rewarded. In February 2007, just 5 months after her initial diagnosis, doctors delivered the news everyone had hoped for: Farrah was cancer-free. The victory celebration lasted mere months. During a routine follow-up exam in May 2007, doctors discovered a malignant polyp. The cancer had not only returned, but had spread to her liver. The diagnosis was devastating. Stage 4 terminal cancer, leaving Farrah facing the fight of her life. Farrah traveled to Frankfurt, Germany, seeking alternative treatments not available in the United States. There, she underwent chemoablation, direct injection of chemicals into affected organs, along with laser ablation and high doses of immune-boosting vitamins. These experimental treatments, administered by Professor Thomas Vogel and Dr. Ursula Jacob, were controversial. Many oncologists questioned using laser ablation for patients with Farrah's advanced cancer, noting it was typically used only for pain relief in terminal cases. Through it all, Farrah made another crucial decision: to document everything. Farrah wanted to show the world what the face of cancer really looked like, explained her best friend Alana Stewart, who filmed even the most agonizing moments of Farrah's battle. The footage captured Farrah vomiting, writhing in pain, clutching her rosary and begging for relief. At one point, while violently ill, she looked up and asked Alana why she wasn't filming. Her mission was clear: break down society's walls of silence around cancer's brutal reality. Perhaps most revealing was Farrah's decision to decline standard surgical treatment that would have removed both her anus and rectum, leaving her with a colostomy bag. It was an option she wasn't willing to pursue, preferring quality of life over potentially prolonging it. The documentary that shocked America. In May 2009, just 1 month before her death, NBC aired Farrah's story, chronicling her cancer battle. Nearly 9 million viewers watched as the once glamorous sex symbol appeared frail, her famous blonde hair fallen out in clumps. The contrast was stark and deliberate. This was a woman whose hairstyle had been imitated by millions who had represented the pinnacle of beauty. Now she allowed cameras to capture her at her most vulnerable, bald, in agony and fighting for every breath. Who would have dreamed that this girl who was so known for her smile and the hair and the glamour would open up the depths of her soul to share with the world, said her co-star Jaclyn Smith. By April 2009, Farrah's condition had deteriorated dramatically. She was rushed to the hospital with a painful abdominal hematoma, a dangerous blood clot in her abdominal muscles, likely caused by the repeated liver injections she had received during her German treatments. Her once vibrant energy was fading rapidly, with Ryan O'Neal reporting that she spent most days at home asleep, her body weakening as the cancer continued its relentless advance. In these final weeks, her 91-year-old father, James, made the journey to say goodbye to his daughter. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching moment came when her troubled son, Redmond, serving time for drug-related offenses, was granted permission to visit. He appeared at his mother's bedside in shackles, under guard supervision, for what would be their final moments together. Her friend Mila Murphy, who remained by Farrah's side at St. John's Medical Center, later revealed that the dying actress repeatedly called out her son's name in her final days. As the end approached, a hospital priest suggested that Farrah and Ryan O'Neal, who had shared a tumultuous but enduring 30-year relationship, should marry. Farrah consented to the idea. She said, "Okay, let's get married," O'Neal later recalled, but by then, she was so weak that he was only able to give her the last rites. On June 25, 2009, surrounded by Ryan O'Neal and her closest friends, Farrah Fawcett took her final breath at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica. She was 62 years old. In a cruel twist of fate, her passing was overshadowed by the shocking death of Michael Jackson later that same day. This phenomenon became so notable that entertainment journalists coined the term getting Farrah Fawcetted when one celebrity's death is eclipsed by another's. Her funeral was held on June 30, 2009. Her son Redmond was permitted to leave detention to deliver a reading. She was laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park in Los Angeles, her simple tombstone bearing just her name. In those final days, the woman who had spent decades being objectified for her beauty forced America to see her humanity. The cameras that once captured her iconic smile now recorded her suffering, not for sympathy, but for truth. Too often, cancer is something we keep hushed. It's nitty-gritty and heartbreaking to confront. But Farrah wanted to break down those walls and encourage people to take it seriously, to get checked earlier when treatment is more effective. Farrah Fawcett was not just a beautiful face on a poster. She was a fighter who, in her final act, transformed from sex symbol to symbol of courage. And that is what really happened in the tragic last days of an American icon.